Hello, it's Laura O'Hagan here, your profit and growth consultant. And today I have one of my clients with me, Kate, to tell you all about her experience working together. So I'm excited to dive in, and I'm really excited for you to hear from Kate and for her to share her experience working together. So let's kick off. Kate, why don't you just tell us really briefly what you do and who you are?
So my name's Kate. I am a freelance hairdresser and I opened my own little studio in Burleigh almost a year ago where I have 7 other freelance hairdressers working with me.
So can you tell me what were some of the stressors or like the things that you were thinking about money and profitability?
I just felt really overwhelming, really not knowing what I should be doing with the money, if that
Yes.
makes sense.
Yeah, I remember the two words you said to me were stressful and overwhelming. So it was sort of like, look, things are doing well, but I don't really understand what to do with it. And I don't really understand if I
Yeah.
am doing as well. So yes, we know there's money coming in, but am I, paying myself? Is there profit? Some of those things you didn't really have clarity on. And, you weren't sure if the way you were managing money was like the best way for you to be doing that. Is that kind of a fair summary?
Yeah, exactly. Like I had no idea if I was making any profit, if I was covering what I needed to,
Yep.
etc., etc.
Awesome.
I was just like surviving.
Yes. And I think that's so common, right? You're an amazing, technical expert at what you do, but especially having ventured into opening your own salon, all of these new things and all of this kind of business stuff that perhaps you hadn't really needed to understand in the past was there. And it's really normal to kind of be like, oh, I know I need to get across this, but it does feel kind of stressful and like I don't quite know how to get started.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. So what was the thing that had you say yes to joining me inside my program and working together?
Do you know what? I was really lucky. Like I've done your hair for 5 years
A
now.
long time,
Like
yes.
when I moved to the coast. And we were just, I don't know, I was doing your hair. We were just chatting about it. It was not something that I didn't really understand what you did, to be completely honest. And we were just talking about it. And I was like, hey, that kind of sounds like something that would be good for me. And I think, again, because I know you, it just like felt like the right thing to do or to
Yep.
try anyway. I wasn't really sure how it worked or what was going to happen.
Yep.
But I think because I know you and the way that you speak to me too, like you don't make me feel stupid about stupid questions, and it's easy to understand doing it with you. But yeah, I just felt really comfortable doing it with you.
Yes. And I think what you said there, like, I just want to reiterate, because I think this is so important, is a lot of people have kind of, they've come through in some sort of technical area of expertise, whether it's hairdressing, whether it's, some other beauty or health business, and suddenly they find themselves running a business. And I think, what you said there is really important. Like, you'd never really considered like hiring someone to help you on the business side of things. And I think that's really common. And I'm glad that you shared that, because I think it's almost like an aha moment just to be like, oh, like perhaps someone could help me understand all of this. And like that could be a
Yeah,
really helpful thing. And I just think that's really helpful for the people to see, because I think people almost think they should be natural at the business side of things. And just hearing you say that is
exactly.
really helpful.
I think I'm lucky that I like stumbled across it with you
Yeah.
because I wouldn't have known what to look for help, if
Yes.
that makes sense. So now it's good to, like, I've shared you with like my own hair page, and a lot of my fellow hairdressers are like, oh, that would be so good for me. But yeah, they like people wouldn't just, you wouldn't know where to go
Yep.
for that help, if that makes sense.
Yes. And I think too, as well, like you sharing this helps people have permission to be like, oh, it's really normal to get help in running the business
Oh,
side of things. I
totally.
don't need to figure it all out on my own. So I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. So what was the first kind of thing, or like the first kind of challenge that we solved together, or the biggest kind of moment in that first little point of time together where you're like, oh, this is, really helpful, or it's lightened the load for me?
I really loved how you taught me to like separate all the bank accounts
Yep.
and to like expenses, rent, all that kind of thing. I think because I'm quite a visual person, just seeing it all laid out, everything being allocated where it needs to go, makes my life feel a lot easier because I
Yeah.
can see where everything's at and
Yes.
what I need to do and when I can order this, and just knowing everything's where it should be.
Love that. So
That's
Kate's
the
talking, oh, sorry. Didn't mean to talk over you there. Kate's talking about the profit first bank allocations there. So we implemented profit first in that first month working together. And that's where we manage the cash flow that comes through the business via separate bank accounts, and having, predetermined amounts go into each of those categories. Because I remember, you've told me and other salon owners have told me, doing those big like retail orders can be stressful, and paying staff, there's these big kind of things that come up that can be quite lumpy, and so it's setting that money ahead of time. And so when I work with my clients, and what we did with Kate is we had that implemented in the first month together, so suddenly you kind of know where to put the money and how things are covered, so you don't have, then there's a transition too of like moving towards more, increased profitability. But straight away you have that visual view of where money's at and that things are covered. And we made sure to break that out for the pieces that were really important for you to get visual, like to get clarity and have a visual on. We made sure to separate those out. So once you had that implemented, that really lifted a load for you around it not feeling so stressful. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Okay. And what do you think has been the most valuable thing that we've done while we've been working together?
I think that, to be honest,
Yep.
that changed everything for me. Like, I was only working between the two accounts before.
Yes.
Like, I really love on a Monday sitting here doing all the allocations, paying what I need to. I just feel more organized and like I've got more control
Yes.
of the business
Yes.
now.
Exactly. And you've got so much visibility. And I love that, because what I've noticed personally as I've watched you do that is I've really seen your confidence grow too. So it's this great tool that gives clarity. It helps you manage the money in your business. You feel more in control. You feel more organized as a business owner. And you really go on this journey of really understanding how money's moving through the business and how to work it with you. So I love that. How would you say things have changed since we've been working together? So we spoke about that really feeling of like stressful and overwhelmed beforehand and worrying about kind of making payments for certain things. How would you explain how you're feeling about things in business now?
I mean, I think owning a business is always going to be stressful, but it's definitely less
Yes.
stressful. And even like we went over how to like maximize the space and all that kind of thing. I've definitely put more things in place.
Yes.
Which means that I don't feel as stressed if I'm not there, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Tell us a bit more. What do you mean by when you're not there?
Like, I am basically having the salon in use almost to its capacity.
Yep.
Which just means it gives me like more reassurance that I don't have to work as hard as I can to cover everything. Like, everything's being kind of supplemented.
Yes. I know what you mean.
Very well, but
yeah, no, I know what you mean. Because I think something that we've really worked on is, increasing the capacity in the salon, because that's a more passive side of the business for you. That's where you generate business income, not necessarily for working behind the chair, right? So you're starting to see now that we've done some of those work and really increasing that and making sure that everything's running at capacity and therefore improving the profitability. You're seeing the benefit of that in that you don't have to always be behind the chair to make money, and you've got that pathway there around that that's going to supplement you not having to make that exchange of time for money. Is that kind of what you're explaining there?
Yeah,
Awesome.
exactly.
Awesome. Been so good. And like what I've loved too is as you've grown your confidence and your skill set and your understanding, you're bringing ideas too, right? You're saying like, hey, what about this or what about that? And you're really seeing ways day to day that you could increase the profitability of your business. So it's really exciting because, I feel like a few months ago you'd be like, oh, I don't know. Like I sort of,
Yeah.
almost like don't believe in yourself or don't have the confidence to kind of see that you've got the ideas. And now what I love
Yeah.
seeing is you've got such great ideas and you're bringing them to me and we're kind of then getting to model those and make decisions. But that's been so powerful to see as well. So if there's someone who's watching along and they're thinking about working together, but they're not sure, what would you say to them?
I think it's so important. Like I've said to you before, that like me going into business, and I'm sure a lot of people doing it, like you've never gone into business before, whatever. I was so naive going into it, and I'm so grateful that it was still all going fine. But I definitely think it's so important to know your numbers if
Yep.
you want it to work long term. Like I just think it's so important to do it, basically. Like, yeah.
Love that. Just like, just do it. Just so important. No, but I think what
Yeah,
you're,
literally just do it. Like it has helped me so much with not feeling overwhelmed.
yes. And I think too, something that I often talk about too is, it's about that sustainability, right? And so like, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes when we're starting up a business, we can put in more hours or we can, top it up with personal money and things like that, but we can't do that forever. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I love how you kind of said, you touched on something there, but I always think getting your business sustainable and to that point where, it can run without you or it can start, giving you some more of those lifestyle things and all of that, that comes from understanding the numbers and understanding the profitability and then making decisions
Yeah.
there. Okay, if you had to describe our work together in 3 words, what would you say?
Oh, okay. Let me think about that. Um, like I was gonna say, it's given me more clarity.
Yep.
Um, less stress.
Yes.
Um, and I guess just given me like security for the
Mm,
future. That's too many words, but that's how
no,
I would
that's
describe
perfect.
it.
Love that. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for sharing your
Thank you.
insights with anyone who's watching along. And I really hope that's helped get an understanding of some of the work we can do together when we work together on profit first and increasing profitability in your business. So thank you so much, Kate.
Thank you.
Bye.